Just touch me till I can get my satisfaction. 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 Satisfaction.
Push me and then just hurt me till I can get my satisfaction. 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 Satisfaction.
Hello and welcome back to another YouTube video. Thanks for tuning in once again. I do hope you like my little montage there of me fitting laminate flooring. As you can see, I am a man of multiple skills. I did actually learn that off of watching another YouTube video. So you never know, you might sit here today and learn something just as useful yourself. Probably not, but you never know. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to cover multiple topics. One of them being that 80% mortgages are back on the market. After lockdown, a lot of mortgage lenders restricted their products. They pulled a lot of them off the market due to the fact that risk being high, they didn't know what was coming on the other side of the coronavirus. So therefore, they pulled away a lot of their products, leaving mainly 60% loan to value mortgages, bridges being more cautious. With that being said, we have heard the news this week that Virgin Money and Clydesdale, who are part of the same lending group, have put back on the market 80% loan to value BuyToLet mortgages and 90% loan to value homeowners mortgages, which is fantastic news. That's good progress, and that's good to see that they're obviously not too worried about the fluctuation in prices following this pandemic, which is brilliant. It's good news. Obviously time will tell as to whether there actually is an issue and whether the market will or not. But regardless, them bringing themselves back into the market is a positive step forward. It will allow more people to buy. It will allow the market to recover, so to speak, or start to recover. So.
And then just.
Look at the camera. Yeah, we're in action. So I've had a lot of questions lately from brand new property investors asking me how the first 6 months of my investment journey has been, especially considering people that haven't done it, they don't know whether it's going to be as passive or as easy as people say on these videos or in educational courses or in books. So now, being that I have owned the property for 6 months, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, 7 months, but it's been rented for almost 6 months, I can now confirm that it has been a very good and strong passive investment. Because I have a managing agent up there in Liverpool, and obviously I live down here on the south coast, it's been very useful having them in place so that when something does go wrong, they can step in, and all they have to do is shoot me an email, take a bit of money from me of course, but apart from that there isn't much that I have to do. Talking through pain points. When I bought the property in December, I bought it near the beginning of December, took a couple of weeks just to do some works on it, and then we put it on the rental market. It went on the rental market on the 22nd of December. It actually should have gone on the rental market on about the 14th, but the agent sat on the keys and did, to be quite frank, for the first week that they had it. But regardless, we did get there in the end, and the property did get up on the rental market on the 22nd of December, which, as you can imagine, with everyone breaking off for Christmas on the 23rd, is perhaps the worst time to put a house on the rental market. So over Christmas I was a little bit worried. It was in the back of my mind, you know, that the house was just sitting empty, 5 hours drive away. And then January came, we were in week 1, not much happening. Week 2 we started to have some viewings. Week 3, boom, we've got 3 or 4 potential clients or customers, whatever, you know, potential tenants that want to rent the property. And then 2 families in particular that were very interested. So then it came down to who had the best credit rating, who had the best references, who earned the most in terms of salary. £525 per month is what I achieved. My first month's rent, I can tell you now, was about £12. So this is something they don't mention to you when you're buying your first rental property, or any rental property for that fact. They don't mention the fact that when you buy that house, when you put it on the rental market, when you find a tenant, the agent, if you've used an agent, this is different if you do it yourself, but if you use an agent, the agent will charge you for your first month's rent. Depending what area you live in and depending how much the rent is, they will either take the full first month's rent or they will charge a fixed fee. In this instance, I was charged £350 by the agent. I then also was required to do some work to the property in order to make it compliant as such. Putting certain hooks in to hold curtains back. It was, checking that all the fire safety was there. It was checking the balustrades on the staircases. There was a bit of niggly jobs that needed doing. Obviously it cost a couple £100. So what I'm trying to get at here is my first month's rent was very much non-existent. So it's good to know that and factor that in. You've bought the property, you're really excited, you found a tenant, you're not going to get your first month's rent. You're going to get a little bit of money. From there, month 2 came, full month rent. Boom. I am a landlord and it's working. This is great, this is brilliant. Month 3 came, the tenants had gone on holiday, and just as they'd gone on holiday, I've asked the managing agent to go and do an inspection because I also needed some updated meter readings to give to my supplier from December. As they've gone in, they've established that unfortunately, whilst the tenants have been away on holiday, the backsplash behind the oven had actually fallen off, completely smashed everywhere. I'll put a picture here if I can find it. And it's gone all over the kitchen. It's a couple £100 splashback as well. So I left it. They emailed me to tell me. I said, look, I'll pay for it, but I'll leave it in your capable hands to do so. They emailed me a quote. I checked it online, which I didn't have to do, but I wanted to do to check that they weren't mugging me off, so to speak, and it seemed fine, so I let them go ahead. So month 3, I was then down a bit of rent as well, because what they did is take the charge of that straight off of the rent as it came in. And then months 4 and 5 and 6 have been brilliant. Not heard from them. They paid during the pandemic period, which I'm really happy about and pleased. I hope, obviously financially, the managing agent has reassured me that they were talking to the tenants and making sure that they were able to pay and that they were able to continue working if necessary. But I'm very pleased to say that 6 months, apart from 1 or 2 glitches at the beginning there and then in month 3, it's been a really successful time. I can highly recommend it. I would like to buy my next one. So this experience hasn't left me not wanting to invest in the future. To round up, anyone that's interested in investing, I would say every investment you make is going to come with some drawbacks, and with all things considered, the 2 that I've had so far are very small. Of course, further down the line, I don't know what life will bring, but for the first 6 months, I'm very pleased to report that I have been successful.
Push me.
Feels weird, this easing of lockdown. Feel like some sort of naughty school child if I decide to go over to my parents, which I am right now. We've heard the news recently we can share outdoor space with up to 6 other individuals or up to 6 other households. So the positive this week means that with me being off work on annual leave for a week, I can go over to my parents. I'm allowed to share open space with them. I can help them replace their patio area, which they're replacing because they're currently going through the process of renovating their house. So really pleased to be able to do that. And the way I look at it is, I'm not looking to be a landscaper. I'm not looking to be paid for laying patio for different people, but I can learn a new skill for something further down the line. I'll have had the experience doing, I'll know how much it costs, I'll know the work and the time that goes into it. So for me, learning that, giving something for them for free, learning the skill is really valuable to be able to do at this position in my life where I am able to do it. So if you're new to property, if you've got time, if you can help family, do it. And anyone that thinks they're above doing that at the beginning, you need to check yourself and check your ego, in my opinion. Nothing bad can come from helping your family. So do it, let me know how you get on. When you do it, tag me in it because I want to see you learning new skills and putting the graft in.
And just don't sleep.
Right, I'm back. I really enjoyed that. I needed that, I think. Needed it up here. Not only was I spending time with my dad and my brother, I think it's really good to just mentally put yourself in another place, If you haven't already, search David Goggins on YouTube, look up his first podcast with Joe Rogan and just listen. Absorb it. The way that he talks about hard work and graft and the fact that nobody owes you anything, you just got to put yourself mentally into another place. The strength that brings it's another level, and it's transformed things for me. The way I look at learning a new skill and then just grafting the hell out of it, that's all come from him in recent months. A friend of mine, Bryce, but also David Goggins. So I highly recommend you watching that interview. On the topic of Joe Rogan podcast, social media, if you don't know already, I've joined TikTok. So give me a follow. There's my handle. Give me a follow. Watch my new videos. I'm giving it a bit of a shot. I uploaded one the other day, which was a quick virtual tour around my first BuyToLet. Got 3,000 views in one night. Thought that was it. I'm going viral here, but it hasn't quite played out like that yet. But you never know. There's still time. But give me a follow. I'll be putting out different content on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok going forward.
Yeah. I just wanna drown in the corn liquor till they come and give me up. Riding on the stallion, telling her to giddy up. Pulling out a cell phone, we can make a video. Smoking on the antenna, listen to the radio. Spinning in a circle, looking like a merry-go. Spinning in a circle, like a name Vertigo. I'm a cool nigga, but...
Moving on from TikTok, one of my most frequently asked questions on YouTube, Instagram, not yet on TikTok, but soon to be on TikTok. My most frequently asked question is, how do I set up a limited company? Now, I've covered this in a previous video, how and why to set up a limited company. But I really wanted to come on here and just break it down really simply. If you don't own a limited company and you've got savings and you're thinking about buying a house in a limited company, here are the steps to doing so. It's a very easy process. Anyone can do it, and I'll talk you through it very quickly. Now, I've broken it into 4 really easy steps. Number 1, register your company on Companies House. So that's the .gov Companies House website. I think there is a small fee, but it's a very easy process and you could literally do it in 24 hours. Step 2, you're going to need to open a business bank account. Now, in order to open a business bank account, you're going to need your company registration number. So you'll need to have done the first step in order to do the second step. Now, I use Starling Bank. I'm not sponsored by them. I just love their platform. It's free. You don't pay for each payment each month, and you don't pay a monthly fee. It's a completely free platform at the moment, and it's really easy to use. It's all from an app, and it's about as advanced you can get online with an online bank. So I highly recommend Starling Bank, but I think there's some other great banks out there. Next thing, utilize bookkeeping software and receipt keeping software. So when it comes to running any kind of limited company, whether you're running a consultancy business or a hairdresser's or a property business, you want to stay on top of your bookkeeping. At the end of the year, you're going to have to file end of year accounts, and the last thing you're going to want to do is be filling out spreadsheets, going through your box of receipts and spending countless hours trying to get your end of year books ready for your accountant to file. Instead, you can do this monthly. Your bookkeeping software is either most likely going to be QuickBooks or Xero. I use QuickBooks, and that's solely because my accountant prefers all of the clients to use QuickBooks rather than Xero. And when you're set up with QuickBooks, that links directly to your online business account, and then it basically links up to the bank feed and can see all of the transfers in and out. And it's a really easy setup, okay? And that will save you, I can do that within 10 minutes at the end of each month. The next thing, Receipt Bank. Receipt Bank is a really easy platform to use, and it's just for storing receipts. So if you bought your property, needs a bit of work, needs some updating, you've gone to B&Q, you're doing it yourself, or you've paid a builder, and you get an invoice and you get a receipt. Then all you're going to do is take a picture of that receipt through the app, it stores it, and then you can throw it away. It saves you from keeping boxes or folders of receipts for the whole year. Lastly, in order to be able to apply for a mortgage through your limited company, you have to have certain codes associated with your limited company. So each limited company that's set up picks a code which is referenced to what that business operates in. Again, it will differ if you're doing a consultancy business. if you're running a hairdresser's, if you're running a clothing business, the code that is associated with your limited company will be entirely different from if you have a property business. So as a property business, there's like 2, 3 or 4 codes in which you will need to associate with that limited company, because if you don't, then a mortgage lender will not be happy lending to that limited company without those codes registered to that company. Now that's not often told, and probably won't even be told on these £2,000 courses which educators seem to be selling. However, that often won't be told to you. It's a finer detail, and there's things like that which you won't always know until it's too late and you need to rush around. So that's why I wanted to come on here and just share that with you. Those 4 points are basically what it takes to set up a limited company and to get a mortgage with one. However, I wouldn't do any of them myself, and I didn't do any of them myself. I know how to do them from previously running a business, but in this instance I said from the outset, I'm going to outsource as much as possible. I'm going to make this as easy as possible. So I went to my accountant, I said, how much is it going to cost me to join your accounting practice? He said, your end of year accounts are going to cost you £700 at the end of the year, or you can pay me throughout the year, spread your payments out to a monthly cost, and that'll be £57.60. And for that £57, you will get the software, you know, the bookkeeping software, you'll get the receipt software, and they'll open up the company for you. So you don't even have to go on the Companies House website, they'll set it up for you. You can even use their office as your registered address to save you listing your home address. They'll then let you use their software for the whole year, as I've just mentioned, and they'll put the correct codes on your business when opening it on Companies House. So what I'm here to say is my advice to you is from the minute you decide to open your limited company, set up your accountant then, because it will save you so much time in the long run, and you're setting yourself up from day one to run and function like a business, which is what I do, and I highly recommend to anyone else. If you have any questions on that, drop me a message. I know it's a hot topic right now with opening limited companies, so drop me any questions you have. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I do like the process of vlogging and showing a bit more of my lifestyle, as well as property investing and talking about it. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.